Good afternoon and welcome back to the channel. This video is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own research and make your own decisions. Okay, I'm just briefly going to touch on the market really quick. We saw another liquidation event, and I'm going to say this is my opinion, but it's not really an opinion. I mean, at this point, Saylor is even saying almost the same thing, is that they're just manipulating the price through the derivatives market, all right? The price of Bitcoin is not solely dependent on supply and demand and buying and selling spot Bitcoin, okay? Because the derivatives market is tied into it, and people can play insane amounts of leverage, get liquidated, and then that affects the spot price, all right? So this is the machine, the system that is used to manipulate the price. I've done a lot of videos on this. I've spoken at length about this. I'm not going to go on and on and on about it, all right? Now, supply is in a sharp downtrend over the last month. And over the last couple years, it's been in a downtrend, in a long-term downtrend, with the one exception of about a year ago when we crashed from 64 down to 29. Some supply came back on exchanges, then it leveled out, and ever since then it's been going downwards, okay, with some periods kind of going sideways and then down again. So this is a long-term trend at this point in time, supply going down. Now, given the broader landscape of everything else happening, do you think that's going to continue? What do you see coming down the road that's going to change that trend? The supply of Bitcoin going down. Does it look like the billionaires are taking their foot off the pedal or putting it on the pedal? All right. Does it look like the institutions are increasing the degree to which they adopt the new technology, or are they decreasing the degree to which they adopt the new technology? So does it look like economic conditions are going to get better or they're going to get worse? And see, that's the big catch here. That's the great fallacy, is that people talk about the economic conditions getting worse as if that's bad for Bitcoin and crypto. Per the IMF, sanctions are going to probably erode dollar dominance and help crypto adoption. BlackRock said something very similar. So poor economic conditions, bad policy, instability, all of those things only strengthen Bitcoin and crypto. While that doesn't reflect in the price because they're manipulating the price to fool people and to be able to accumulate while things are low, guys, there's a lot of incentive for them to suppress the price. There's every incentive in the world for them to suppress the price, right? It allows them to accumulate very slowly, incrementally, like a Fidelity buying and mining Bitcoin since 2014 while the price stays relatively flat because they're manipulating it through the derivatives market. They're liquidating leveraged traders, and they get retail in two different ways. One, they liquidate leveraged traders, and then two, the people who are in the spot market who are just buying and hoping that this is going to be a good thing for them. They see the price going all over the place and they panic sell, so they beat the retail trader and investor in two different ways, while simultaneously suppressing the price, fooling normal everyday people and giving themselves cheap prices to be able to accumulate, which is what they've been doing because that's why the supply has been going like that. All right, now that's my rant on that piece. I'm going to move on from that. Guys, listen, there's certain scenarios in life where, like, what's happening with the price, it doesn't really matter. And that's my opinion. You might feel differently. But when the future of an asset class is predetermined, meaning all the people who would be in a decision-making position have already decided this is the new system. They've told you it's the new system. They've put out starter guides on how you can get started in the new system. They told you that they're getting in, that their corporations are getting in, so on and so forth, and that the old system is going bye-bye. Per Peter Thiel, we are at the end of the fiat regime. Peter Thiel also accurately predicted the cryptocurrency market and the transition to this type of an economy 23 years ago. So, guys, you know, unfortunately, because the content creators in this space focus so much on the day-to-day and they don't just come out and honestly, openly tell their viewers what the deal is with all of this, because of that, it's created this atmosphere where people care about the things that are kind of irrelevant and people dismiss the things that are the most important. I didn't even think that through before I said it, but that might be the best way to articulate exactly how everything, what it's like in crypto, is that they focus so much on these insignificant things while forgetting to constantly remind their viewers every major bank, corporation, and government is involved here. These are their new systems, all right? CBDCs and blockchain tech and crypto, it's a package deal. All right, it doesn't necessarily have to be, but the way they created CBDCs, they're going to run on the blockchain. Those blockchain / crypto companies are needed and a necessity for them to be able to roll out these new CBDCs globally, which they are going to do, period, end of story. So all of that's going on. Guys, listen, there's a lot of shit happening all around the world, guys. In Shanghai, it looks like there's riots that are breaking out in Shanghai, all right? Maybe because of food shortages, that's what it seems like, or maybe just too many restrictions. In Peru, they had to deploy the military to shut down food riots. They've told you food shortages are coming. They've told you an energy crisis beyond what we already have is coming. So we are standing in front of a tsunami. This is going to be so big, guys. I can't even... Because I think because people can't see crypto, okay? It's kind of happening in cyberspace to some degree. And they don't see it. They're not seeing buildings being built right in front of them. They're not seeing it in the physical universe to some degree. And a lot of it's happening in the digital universe. And because of that, I think a lot of people can't see how big this already is. Guys, when you have an old financial system, an old economy, you create a new financial system, internet, on which the economy is going to be built and everything is going to be ran on. When you do that, there's an inflection point at some point in time where as people move, all the billionaires move from one to the other gradually over time. And as they start coming out and promoting it, and corporations start adopting it, and banks starting adopting it, and pretty much everybody with any type of wealth and resources and influence is telling you to buy Bitcoin and crypto. When you get to that point, at the same time where you have record high inflation and the old economy, the old financial system is as compromised as it possibly could be, and there's no way out of the massive historic debt bubble that they've pumped. At that point, and when it starts to become clear, more clear to the general public what's going on, you reach an inflection point. There's no way for them to do this without a major economic collapse. And I don't understand why people can't get that. There has to be some type of a collapse. The only question is how bad it is and whether the collapse is up or down. Whether they jack up interest rates and pop the bubble, or whether they don't jack up interest rates and it's an inflationary crash. That's the only question. And how long it takes to rebound till we're back to some degree of normalcy. That's only the ultimate conclusion is predetermined, barring an asteroid, an alien invasion, apocalyptic event. Barring that, the future of these assets is predetermined, all right? The future of where we're going is predetermined. We're moving to the new system, all right? So all these other things, any red dots, any green dots, any Fibonacci levels, any, support bands and resistance, that shit is so far down on the level of significance and importance. It's so far down, it's not even in the picture. Because everything that I just said over the last 8 minutes, those are all the most important things. But we don't talk about those in crypto. We talk about all the most insignificant things. So, by design, I'm sure. It's by design, because they want people, they don't want people focusing on the most important things. So, this is what I will say. My position's never going to change. I've told you that almost every day for a year now. My position has never changed. I've never even remotely sounded bearish for 15 seconds on this channel, because all the different circumstances that I laid out throughout the last, however long I've been doing this video, those aren't changing. Those are only moving more in the direction of transitioning to the new system. So there's certain periods in time where all this other stuff doesn't matter. Right? This is not a traditional investment. We're not talking about, just everyday stocks that we may or may not like and saying, well, this may or may not be good given all this other market stuff, that's all the other economic stuff that's happening. So that's not this type of a conversation. This is a world-changing event that's going to change everything, period, forever. This is a very significant point in time in history. All right, and the people that don't figure that out are going to get smoked. All right, so they've told you what's coming. I would assume they're going to blow up this bubble and inflation is going to go crazy, because that seems to be the general consensus. I'm hearing more of, and guys, that's coming from the banking cartel. Here's the thing about that. They'll never tell you things are going to get bad. They never do, right? They'll always lie to you and say, oh, no, it's not going to be that bad. Here's how you know the degree to which things are going to get bad. If they're telling you things are going to be fine or they're not going to be that bad, things are going to be bad. If they're telling you things are going to be bad, they're going to be really bad, all right? And they never really come out and tell you that. They normally will tell you, oh yeah, it'll be fine, we'll get it under control, nothing to worry about. Janet Yellen, uncomfortably high inflation. Bank of International Settlements, there's a real risk that prices could rise uncontrollably. BlackRock, the entitled generation better put on their seatbelts over speeding inflation. What else do y'all need to hear, right? This is a survival of the fittest type of a scenario. And when I say survival of the fittest, I don't mean like physically fit. I mean more mentally fit, the ability to think critically, to be able to assess a lot of different scenarios happening, and to be able to look and do basic math and use your critical thinking and say, this is what all the billionaires are doing, this is what Wall Street's doing, this is what the corporations are doing. They're all coming out and telling you what's going to happen. Maybe I should listen to them, right? The only people that don't get this are the people that think that they're smarter than Wall Street, the billionaire class, the governments, big tech. And, you know, they're going to have a very humbling experience. A very humbling experience. And it is what it is. So, guys, in my opinion, you should just be prepared, okay? And when I say be prepared, I mean prepare. And I'm not saying panic, because I'm not panicked, guys, because I'm prepared. I don't care. I don't care when it happens. I don't care when it happens and when all this stuff goes on. Right, because I am prepared. I have food, I have water, I have everything that I need. I have my resources allocated where I want them to be. That's that. It's no thing, right? And so I'm not worried about all this other stuff. I'm not worried about anything else. I'm not worried about any Fibonacci level. I'm not worried about what the Fed's going to do. I tell you what the Fed's going to do. The Fed and the other central bankers, they're going to continue to implement the new system. That's what they're going to do, all right? And I don't really care what they're going to do with interest rates. Because that's a perfect example of something being further down on the priority list in the level of importance. They're going to implement the new system. It's significantly more important than whatever they're going to do with interest rates. Because what they're probably going to do with interest rates is continue to lie to people while they continue to blow this bubble. And there's going to be something that happens, some event is going to come out of nowhere, and it's going to be, oh, well, now we didn't see this, now we got to do this. So that's what's going to happen, guys, in a general sense. Or who knows, you know, whatever. For all I know, alien invasion could happen tomorrow. Alien spaceship could hack the Pentagon. Who knows? They're releasing the alien papers at this point. So that's where we are in this movie that we're living through right now, is the alien papers are being released. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be chaos. It's going to be chaos and insanity. But, guys, it is up to you. And I don't want to be one of these, like, you know, everything's going to collapse, yeah, blah, 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 blah. All right, I'm not trying to be like that, because I'm not worried. I'm not scared. I don't think you should be. I do think you should prepare. And that's that. And here's the thing, guys. They could collapse the system any day. The economy is already collapsed, okay? The economy is finished. There are way too many zombie companies. There are way too many companies that are going to be getting rid of over the next 3 to 4 years. There's a lot of other companies and their services that they offer are going to become obsolete because the new system makes their services obsolete. A lot of different areas in professional services are going to become obsolete. A lot of financial advisors are no longer going to be needed. A lot of auditors and accountants are no longer going to be needed. There's a lot of industries that are going to be decimated. So many things are going to be automated. Not everything. I'm not sitting here saying there's going to be flying cars tomorrow. But the world is going to change. It's changing right now. It's going to continue to change. They're not stopping this. It is an unstoppable force, okay? And the only thing that's going to stop this is a world-ending event. And that's really all you need to know, all right? That's my opinion. I don't really feel like it's an opinion when every single person who makes decisions in the world is telling you that. That's a safe bet, in my opinion. So That's it, guys. That's all I got. I'm sorry. I just get frustrated. You know, there's such a gap between normal everyday crypto content creators and what's generally running through my mind, that it is it's like different universes. It's like we're living in different universes. And I'm talking solely about like myself specifically compared to most other content creators who cover crypto and Bitcoin. There's such a gap between what's important and what should be discussed and what new investors should hear, that like when the frustration that you hear sometimes, like when I'm getting worked up when I'm ranting, it's because like I don't feel like I should be the one that has to say stuff like this. Like this should just be common. I shouldn't have had to get back on social media. I guess I didn't have to. I mean, I chose to, but like this is too big. This is too big for people to not hear that. It's the biggest thing you're ever going to live through in your entire life. That's why the world is insane. Okay, if you can't buy into the idea of how big crypto and Bitcoin is going to be, why do you think the world is collapsing? Why do you think the world just got turned upside down and things were relatively normal about 5 years ago? Even 3 years ago. More so than they are now. And look at what's happened now. Look at just how insane everything is. Do you want to know why that is? It's because they're implementing the new system. And it has to be this way. Okay? So, that's that. It's not financial advice, guys. Make your own decisions. You don't have that many options. Stocks, bonds, real estate, gold and silver, cash, Bitcoin and crypto. You don't have that many options. So even staying in cash, you're betting on cash. That's the decision that you're making. That's the asset class for you. So, and also set some money aside, in my personal opinion, for food and for supplies. Because they've told you a food shortage is coming. It looks like we're seeing food riots in Shanghai. Also, we're definitely seeing food riots in Peru. They had to deploy the military to shut them down. So guys, just be prepared, all right? You know, this is the beginning of the new world. Like, we should stop looking at it as if this is the end of the old world. Like, this is the beginning of the new world. And fortunately for you, people who can think critically and use common sense and ask critical questions, they're going to thrive in the new world. But, you know, the people who are checked out are not, unfortunately. But, so that's good news for you. And, you know, yeah. So, that's all I got. I have no idea, you know. Sometimes I just get on and just start. And that was one of these videos. And so, not sure how this came out. I might have to rewatch it before I post this thing. Okay, I gotta go. Have a good day. I'll see you later. Goodbye.